Authority. Not happy, actually, because you're here to discuss the fact that we seem to be seeing road carnage out of control. A lot of deaths on the roads, particularly even just this month in June. Let's start with what's going on. What are the patterns that you're seeing, Mathew? And what is perhaps the bad news? Is it going out of control? And what's the good news? Over to you.
Thanks, Julie, for having me here to shed light. Right now in the month of June, we have faced significant challenges on our roads. As of today, we've lost 59 lives since the beginning of the month. That compares
59. This is countrywide.
Countrywide since
reported cases.
Reported cases, and that compares to 68 same time last year. It's a slight improvement for that month. Although looking at the whole year from January to now, our accident fatalities are up by 11.5%.
So not an improvement. We're a little bit. 11.5% is very high.
Yes.
But for the month of June, we're slightly up on the death toll.
Slightly down, actually.
Slightly down by one.
By about because we are talking about 59 against 68.
Okay, 59. 59. Thank you.
We are better off 9 lives.
Thank you. Let's talk about where the problems are. What's happening on the roads? We've witnessed a number of cases as in situations like, for example, if I take the last few instances we have had, there is obviously a situation whereby we are seeing a lot of behavior that is not supporting road safety, and we would like to see more discipline on our roads in terms of people planning their journeys better. When you look at the Namanga incident, traveling that late at 3 a.m., being on the road, and also being involved in drinking and driving is a bit of a careless behavior. When you look at the other incident we had at Nyamindi River, these are young people coming from a funeral in Maua, and they decide to travel overnight. And in the middle of that traveling, they are making stops within the various towns that are on that route. And obviously, the accident again happened within that segment of between midnight and 5 a.m. So we are seeing a bit of behavioral issues that are not supporting our campaign to make our roads safer. We're also seeing situations that relate to infrastructure. For example, the Udhirwa incident today, there is an issue of a portal that has not been managed, and so for those scenarios are replicating. Who bears responsibility for situations like that?
We all have various actions to take in order to improve road safety. And I would say the context has shifted slightly over time. We are talking of motorization being up by 9.2% compared to vehicles we had last year and now. We are also talking of many more kilometers of paved roads, much better roads across all parts of this country. And we will thank the current administration for making this happen. And what is happening is we are not matching the changes that we are seeing. More disposable incomes for the youth, meaning high rate of mobility. We are not matching with the solutions in terms of how people move around. And therefore, that is where the mismatch is happening.
A lot of people have SMS'd and sent in tweets saying the bottom line is the traffic police. They are corrupt, and if indeed they didn't take bribes and just did their job, lives would be saved. What's your comment?
I'll agree. Enforcement around the world contributes a lot in terms of helping the situations on our roads. In fact, statistics and research put it at 25%. You can simply reduce fatalities to a maximum of 25% by just enforcing better. And better means you have systems that work. Corruption and failure for people to perform their work is a problem we have as a society. But again, it is good to dissect the problem further and look at it. And I'll challenge the issue and the notion about enforcement. If I tell you today, based on research that was done last year, and that we have the findings, the level of compliance in this country is just slightly, it's below 50%. In fact, if you take 10 vehicles, 10 drivers, out of 10, 7 will have an issue one way or the other that does not meet the requirements of safety and of the law. Which means, and we have 2.5 million vehicles registered in this country. Give and take, and every single day we have 1 million motorists on our roads. So what we are saying is based on that level of compliance, we would be processing 700,000 cases every single day. Today, if I tell you the number we are doing, it is 0.5% of what we should be doing. And there are various reasons for that. We are lacking the capacity in terms of even the police themselves to be everywhere to enforce. We are lacking the capacity in terms of our courts to be able to process. You won't imagine the bottleneck we have in terms of the administration of justice. And it's for this reason, Julie, that recently, through the Commission on Administrative Justice, we made a decision and said, for traffic offenses, so that we in any case increase even the volume of transactions that are being done, we're not going to have motorists arrested and detained. Rather, they're going to be given notices to attend court, and we believe by so doing we can quadruple the number of cases that officers are processing. The other issue is that because of high case of motorization going up, we are having a challenge. Most of our traffic officers, like now in Nairobi, you've seen the floods and the situation we have been having with the traffic jam. The last thing on their minds is the first thing, then the top priority is to get you home. And they do not have enough time to check whether your tires are in good conditions and whether you are having your seatbelt on. And therefore, this is the other conflict we are having. So again, we need to resource in terms of those who are dealing with road safety and those who are dealing with the issue of mobility and traffic management.
You know, it's shocking that you say 7 out of 10 cars on the road and road users are not in compliance, and that really is us. Yes. It is us, the people. There's a problem there. Somebody, Moses from CUNA, says, it's simple. Let the government digitize driving license and every motorist will sober up. So if you have a license and everything that you do and everything that happens is registered on that license, there are penalties. Yes. We will sober up. So use of technology. Someone else says, don't blame traffic police alone. Let road users be careful when using the road. Let's come to a couple of issues that were raised by Lee Kinyanjui from NTSA when he was here on Sunday Live the last time. The use of roads by pedestrians, and in particular the new superhighways, for instance, and other roads where the death tolls are very high for pedestrians trying to cross the road. And number two, borders as well. A lot of concerns security-wise have been raised about borders, but also the question of safety, because it is very easy to get registered. What are the regulations? How do we ensure there is some substantial training before borders are able to operate?
Now, Julie, first and foremost, before even we come to the details of resolving this, we need, it's a management issue and it's a leadership issue, I would say. We have to holistically put the discussion and the conversation about road safety on the table and get all systems to go to resolve this issue. Border phenomena is becoming an issue in Kenya because we do not have a reliable public transport system. Of course, as an authority,
the best alternative.
Yes, we have the plans in terms of rapid bus transport system. It's going to take us some 5 or so years to put in place. But this is really the real solution in terms of even engineering differently our roads so that you don't use the same space for motorists and pedestrians. What we are doing now as an authority, and again supported by the other agencies, is to give like what is first aid measures. But the holistic solution has to resolve the issue of mobility, starting with our urban centers and subsequently across the entire country. The other issue is financing for road safety. When you look at our expenditures in terms of the money that goes into road safety related issues, I'm talking about road furniture, I'm talking about signage, I'm even talking about infrastructure to support automated detection of offenses, such as the fixed cameras. This country doesn't have a single fixed camera. We have less than 100 handheld cameras. That is really very low. We're talking of a situation whereby we should have less than 500 mobile cameras and not less than 1,500 fixed cameras. So,
Mathew, you're preaching to the converted. We're all with you, and the understanding that you have of the issues and what needs to be done is clear. The fact that you're saying these are first aid measures is almost an admission that we're not where we need to be. And I think the feeling is we can't wait 5 years for our roads to be safe. We need to start now. How can you start to ensure that you are accelerating progress in this area?
For all new projects, one of the things we have said is that we want to ensure that we actually edge the funds that are supposed to be used for road safety, so that for every new road, for every new tarmac road, we see the fixed infrastructure such as the fixed cameras in place. We've already tendered out fleet management, and that will build into the control center for monitoring. That is to enable us of this automatic detection. As you may be aware, we announced that we are going to soon release a new generation number plates and the third license. Again, this is something that is also being at procurement. We've tendered it out. What we are now preparing ourselves is that ability to detect many offenses. 2 weeks ago, you know that we now agreed that we can actually issue the notices to attend court. As I said earlier, this again enables the police and our enforcement officers to increase the level of detections on our roads. We have already prepared a new curriculum for driving, which we are rolling out anytime now, and it requires all drivers to be retrained. Private drivers within a space of 9 years, professional drivers within a space of 18 months. So this will enable us, weed out the rogue drivers and guys who don't have enough driving skills, to improve the level of driving on our roads.
We can only appeal to you to continue your work in an ambitious fashion to end the loss of lives that we're seeing. The message coming in from many Kenyans is that we all have a role to play as well. So if you're part of those 7 out of 10 who have a problem with your vehicle, take the time to try and get it sorted out. Don't drive drunk. Make sure you're addressing all these issues that can help keep our roads safer. Thank you so much, Mathew, for joining us on Sunday Live.
Thank you.
We're going in just a moment to Net Search.